This is Natalie for Ogilvy Do, and I'm here with Josy Paul. I'm hoping that he's going to share an interesting David Ogilvy story with me. Josy, hi, welcome to Ogilvy Do.
Thank you.
I had it from a source downstairs that you were in one of the academies. We're actually sponsoring the Digital Academy, but I think you were in the Creative Academy telling a rather lovely and quite emotional story about David Ogilvy. If you could spare 20 seconds to share that, it would be fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's I was one of the guys who started this agency called David in India, along with Ogilvy, and I wanted to really pay a tribute to David Ogilvy for the name that we have, David, which is David versus Goliath, and we felt that David's a name that's forever, because David is an ideology. David is the spirit of our times. So I thought I should go and restart our sort of life in David, which we began by going to Tufu and going to his grave and writing a personal letter from me, like a memo. Like, you can't send an email to David Ogilvy, but you can slip a letter into his grave. So it's like an e-grave or whatever. So I found my way. I don't know, just how the world sort of does these magical things and lets you go there. And I arrived there without knowing a word of French. And
you arrived at Tufo, and this with Herta, I'm assuming.
I called her up and I said that I just want to pay my tributes. So she let me have that place for the day, and she allowed me to roam free, and said this is the place where David Ogilvy would sit and write, and under this tree is where he wanted his ashes sort of scattered and buried. So I said, let me go and sit under that same tree, and she left for the day. And the whole place was mine. It was both scary as inspiring, yeah. And I heard the dogs in the moat, and it was so
surreal.
Peaceful and surreal, but serene as well, because it sort of made me really connect with the founder of Ogilvy, and then I wrote this piece of letter, which was very, very emotional to me, because it was my dream for what David should be, the agency.
Right.
And I then dug that grave, and I slipped that letter into the grave, covered it, and then took the soil that was left in a bottle and brought it back for a conference.
Right.
Where everyone else in the David conference in Vietnam were presenting their PowerPoints, and I presented my story and gave everyone soil. So it was a slightly different experience, and I think it touched everybody that sometimes your roots don't lie in a computer or in an email. It lies in a real zone, and it exists, and it's authentic, and why don't we just touch it, and that's my story.
That is a lovely story. Thank you so much.